think we're,
Oh, you got it? Did you start streaming?
yeah, I just started.
What did you do?
It's just software that failed. That's obnoxious.
Did you reset it or did it just kick in?
It more or less just kicked in.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Okay. Would you please raise your right arm to the square and repeat after me? And when I say I and state your full name, we'll just do one at a time, and then when we get to the part, I'll. So please raise your right arm to the square. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear or affirm
The mic
that I will
needs to go to
support,
them.
obey, and
We can't hear
defend
them.
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Congratulations.
Just a minute. Indiana Jones under the door.
And just flipping switches and it came on all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking we could just use this and pick up their.
Yeah, a room like that one.
Thank you all. Okay, so our next item is discussion action item. It is the consideration of a leadership structure reflective of reconfiguration.
Okay, well, I have some thoughts on this and I'd love to make a motion. I appreciate when Joylen first brought this forward, and I think as we are moving towards kind of wrapping up all the great things that have been done in Alpine School District and transitioning to the new school boards, I appreciate the forethought into how can we best position this area so that there's both a combination of institutional knowledge and also having members from each of those areas involved in all of the processes. So I think one of the best things we can do is to make sure that we are hearing from each area and representing each area. And so in that spirit, I move that we expand the Board of Education leadership to one president and two vice presidents to be filled by one representative who resides in each of the boundaries of the new reconfigured school districts.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Stacy and a second by Joylen. Any discussion? I appreciate this consideration as we move forward. I think it's a fair process that will invite unity on our board.
I also just think it'll strengthen the ability to lead 3 strong districts and to continue the good things that have happened in Alpine School District and continue to work on moving that forward. So I'm excited for this.
Any other comments? Okay, seeing none, we have a motion by Stacy and a second by Joylen. All in favor of the Stacy's really long motion. Will you read the motion again?
Well, hold please. I move that we expand the Board of Education leadership to one president and two vice presidents to be filled by one representative who resides in each of the boundaries of the new reconfigured school districts.
Okay, so all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that passes unanimously. Next, we have election of board president. So the chair is open for nominations from the board for the position of board president. The term of office is for 2 years and until their successors are elected.
I would like to nominate myself for board president. Sorry, Ada Wilson.
I would like to nominate Julie King for board president.
I'd like to nominate Sarah Beeson for board president.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, the nominations are closed. Any discussion? Okay,
I would like for each of the nominees to make a statement, and I will be happy to start that. I have really enjoyed the work session that we had today, and I felt like it had great spirit and momentum, and I really want things to continue in that way. I feel like I've advocated in the past for every voice to be heard, for there to be equitable consideration of every area. And I accept the results of the election, and I'm committed to moving forward with every area being considered and its unique needs considered as we make decisions going forward. So I put myself forward as one who is transparent, honest, and kind, and I will lead in that way. Thank you.
Is that more appropriate? Okay. So having now served 4 years in my first term, I've been very impressed by Julie's ability to see both the large picture, but also being very aware of the individual people we serve. Her content knowledge, her people knowledge eclipses any expectation that I have ever thought of or set for best practice. I have learned from the way that she intentionally nurtures relationships. I think we have benefited extremely well from the legislative work she does during the session, but also maintaining those relationships year-round and being proactive in ways that benefit all of our students across the board. I think that she has shown us over the last, well, I would argue more than 4 years, but in her term, that she has both understanding, the capacity and ability to lead us through the transition as we move from Alpine into the new school districts. And I really appreciate that her core values are student safety and people first. And I think as long as she continues to lead that way, we are in a very good position. And so I'm confident that under her leadership that we can make a smooth transition to the new districts and support our employees and students.
Yeah, so I've been very impressed with Sarah's ability to particularly deal with patrons when there are difficult issues. I feel like during this transition to new districts that that skill will be really necessary in a president, because we're going to have people that have different ideas about how things should move forward. I think Sarah also has the ability to be very fair. I know that there were several issues when she was vice president where she reached out to board members to make sure that all of their views were heard, and was willing to look at the will of the board in moving forward. And I think that's probably the most important thing for the president as we move forward, is that they'll be waiting to feel what the will of the board is before they move forward.
there's
So
this
here's
weird-
their idea or their own particular agenda is, and I think that Sarah will do a great job with that.
So we're gonna do a roll call vote. So if we'll start with Ada, and as you go and vote, if you would please articulate the individual in which you are voting for.
Ada Wilson.
Julie King.
Sarah Beeson.
Julie King.
Julie King.
Sarah Beeson.
Julie King.
Okay, so we have a 4-2-1. Did I do the calculations on that right? So we have board majority, so we're done. Okay. So Julie King has been elected as school board president. Okay, next we need to turn to the election of vice president. Because we have made the previous motion and that was approved, we have someone serving in leadership from the west. So we need vice presidents to serve from the central. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we're gonna follow the same roll call vote. And Ada, if we could start with you, and if each individual would articulate the individual they're voting for.
Sarah Beeson.
Stacy Bateman.
Sarah Beeson.
I do actually want to make a statement. I want to just say, this one has been tricky for me because I'm coming in. I'm the new girl here. But as I've been thinking about it, I really feel like I owe it to the voters to go with how they voted, and so my vote is for Stacy Bateman.
My vote is Stacy Bateman.
Sarah Beeson. Stacy Bateman.
Okay, with a 4-3 vote, Stacy Bateman is the vice president for the central area. Now on to the south area. The chair is open for nominations for the south area for the position of board vice president. Term of office is for 2 years and until their successors are elected. Nominations are open.
I'd like to nominate myself, Ada Wilson.
I'd like to nominate Emily Peterson.
I would like to nominate Mark Clement.
Okay, so I'm just gonna close nominations since that's everybody. Just gonna acknowledge that. Okay, any discussion?
I just want to point out that I have been proactive in communicating with our city leadership and feel that I have their support. And I've been proactive in defending and making sure that the needs of my area were met. You know, at the time when there was question about whether Trailside was going to be a thing, I rallied the troops and we got the advocacy done for that schools, and we made the right decision. The board made the right decision. And when Prop 2 became an issue in my city, it was me that rallied the troops and made that happen so that we had the opportunity to continue to be supported by a strong district in Alpine School District. So I feel like I have earned this and proven myself to be a good advocate for my area. So I appreciate your support.
It's always interesting once candidates file for election and then to see who has come to board meetings before the filing date, who starts coming after the filing date, who doesn't come at all. And I just have been really impressed by Emily's willingness to just dive in, and she's been very active in our communities, and I appreciate the way that she has really made a conscious effort to make sure that she hit the ground running, and I think she'll be a fabulous representative for the South area.
There's a lot of nuance and things that go on in the background of a board member that the public doesn't see, and as we work together. And Mark has impressed me in the past to be a real listener to board members and to advocate. Probably the most important thing for me as a board member is recognizing in all leaders, the ability to have a sense of humbleness when they lead, and that's Mark. And when he's made mistakes, he is always the first to say, I've made a mistake, and I'm going to learn from it. I wish all of our leaders had that sense of humility as they lead, and I appreciate his ability to think clearly, to not be reactionary to information, to be able to weigh things out, and be data driven as he's making those decisions. I feel like he cares about the board, and there's a lot of decisions like like I've said before that the public sees, but there's a lot of things that go on in the background that the public doesn't see, and it's how we deal with each other. And I think Mark is overqualified in the sense that he really does care about the unity and how we are cohesive as a board. And I feel like as we're moving forward, doing something that's never been done in the state of Utah before in terms of dividing in three, that Mark has the capacity and the leadership to help us to be cohesive and collaborative as we move forward. I feel like how we will be as a board in terms of our ability to unify, not necessarily agree on everything, but to unify with a common good. I feel like Mark has the ability to help with that unification so that we can make a difference in our communities and in the district together. Hey. The individual they're voting for, please. Ada Wilson.
Emily Peterson.
Mark Clement.
Emily Peterson.
Emily Peterson.
Mark Clement.
Emily Peterson.
Okay, and Emily Peterson is elected to be the second vice president. That is the conclusion of our agenda. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for attending, we appreciate it.
It was awful. The audio, I think it was picking it up back here somewhere.
Yeah, somehow it's picking up the speakers.
Yeah, no, it was terrible.
We got through it.
yeah, we made it.
Is this the IHG?
That is, yes.
Hey, thanks for setting everything up.
Yeah, we gave it the old college try.
You should say it's at least 8:30 or 9.
Just to be safe, really. Just for habits, right?
Thanks for being here.
You bet.